styles.
Listening to Zombie Life Radio. Dirty Pete here. I'm so glad you're always hanging out with me. I wouldn't be here without the help of Eddie Rotten, and you can find him anywhere on the web, really. EddieRotten.com, Eddie Rotten on Facebook, at Eddie Rotten on Twitter. If you're not, you need to start following the fastest growing zombie blog on the net, EddieRotten.com, EddieRotten.com. And if you haven't already, look for the free Zombie Life app on Android. All right, zombie killers, kill them all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. Right, well, we know the drill, don't we? So if we start from here, and we'll go like we did yesterday.
No problem at all.
Awesome. So, why don't you start by telling people just a little bit about yourself, and obviously your name.
Well, it's Simon Neilson, and I'm an indie author. I've written 2 online Kindle books, The Circus and the Apocalyptic, and currently just waiting for Caleb to come out in paperback. Yeah. And they're my 3 works that are out there at the moment.
And they are fantastic, to say the least. Thank you. But like I say, well, I haven't read The Circus, but I'll be like I say, The Apocalyptic was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But
yeah, it was a different take on the zombie, so.
Yeah, it was good. But I mean, like what you've described to me about the circus sort of thing, it sounds fantastic, to be honest. And I think I'm going to have to pull my bum together and actually read it.
Thank you. That was written a long time ago. That just sat gathering dust on my shelf.
Yeah.
That was written about 6-7 years ago. So I only just put it out there to see what response it gets. So yeah, it's been quite positive so far.
Yeah. And you've had a lot of good response by the sounds of things, haven't you?
Yeah, I pop onto Amazon now and again, and there's been some very, very nice comments, which I was quite humbled by. Yeah, it was very nice.
Fantastic. I'll take it, it's sold quite well then?
It's doing okay. I didn't expect it to sort of like, you get a few of these Kindle books and they just go massively straight away, and I wasn't expecting that. I just wanted people to read my story, and if they liked it, they liked it. That was my main thing behind it. So.
Yeah, it's good. Well, it's a good thing people have taken to it, which is a bonus. And the Apocalypse has done quite well as well. It's done really well as well, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I had, I think one of the most humbling comments was that somebody put on there, "This would make a great TV series," and I just laughed at that. I thought, wow, that's quite a nice comment.
That's pretty sweet. That's good to know people enjoy stuff that much, they think that sort of thing.
Yeah. And it is. Zombies, it is a bit of a niche, so you either like them or you don't like them. So, it was quite nice to get those comments back. And glad you enjoyed it as well, so.
Yes, I thought, well, like I said to you before, I sat down one day, I bought it. I was planning on buying it and reading it, but I was planning on buying it and reading it over a few days. And I just started it on a 12-hour shift I did at work, and that was it. I went from just beginning to end in a few hours. I just flew through it. It was so good.
So I didn't write it as a novel. It was always going to be a novella, and it was going to be something that somebody could just download on their Kindle and either read on their way to work or read on a train journey. And that's how I wrote it. So
yeah, and it was good. It's definitely something that will capture people. If they I encourage people to download it, but I encourage people to download and buy all your things, to be honest.
Thank you.
It's definitely something that I think people they'd find themselves getting lost in, if you know what I mean. You could be sat there on the train, and next thing you know, you'd be halfway up the country and not even realise because you've just been so engrossed in this book.
There's a few books I've read like that where you just don't know where the time went. But it was fun. It was fun writing it. It was really good fun. I was just sitting there one day. I didn't have any projects on the go. And I go into a zombie forum, and I saw people talking, and I thought, this is interesting. It just went from there, and it just blew up from there, really, and that was all it was.
That's fantastic. So why don't you tell people just a little bit about, the two books you've got out at the moment, just like what they're about and how you come to writing them?
Yeah, the circus, like I said, I wrote that about 6-7 years ago before I'd even dreamt of sending anything off to a publisher, and it was just for my own personal enjoyment, and it came from a conversation I had with somebody who said they were scared of clowns. And I just went from there, and it turned into a sort of mystery come horror. And it's just about a circus that kill people and they abduct people. And it went from there, and it's about a paranormal investigator who gets dragged into it by one of the boys that goes missing. His friend, about 40 years later, says, "Look, this circus has come back to town. I want you to investigate it." And it goes from there, really. And at first, the paranormal investigator is a bit sceptical, but then as the story moves on, it develops from there.
Oh, nice. That sounds very, very, very good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't, and that was not that wasn't zombie based at all. That was just coming from a conversation I had with somebody. I actually sent that off to 2 publishers, and it got turned down twice. So it knocks your confidence a little bit. But I kept on with it. I kept on with it. And then I got round, I wrote The Circus, then I wrote Caleb, and I finished that last year. Yeah. And it was while I was waiting for Caleb to get edited by the publisher and everything that I wrote The Apocalypse Room. And like I just mentioned, I go on zombiething.com and everyone's talking in the chat room. Sometimes I just sit there. I don't always join in with the chat. I just watch what people are talking about. And I saw what they were saying, and sometimes they were talking about how they would survive the apocalypse. And I thought, this is interesting. What if the internet was still on while there was an apocalypse? And then the idea was spurned, and I just thought up 6 characters and put them all in different parts of the country and said, right, talk to each other. And it went from there.
Yeah, and it works really, really well. It was fantastic. You go from, especially I like the way you've got all these different types of people. Like you've not got, you've got the right little bitchy little teenage girl, and I mean, the main character, the first girl, you start off with things like a bit of a realist. She kind of like looks into things, and she seems quite sensible. And you've got the dude on the oil rig. I'm sure you've got some like gothicy bloke in there as well.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've read it all, so I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, there's a gangster been in trouble with the police. An old fella. I don't want to give too much away about the story, but he's got his own little thing going on in his own house. Yeah. And the soldier as well, who's stuck in Birmingham. That was the last character I actually thought of, and I thought, right, I need one more character, and I was drumming through my head, right, and I thought, a soldier, and I just whacked him in. But a lot of the characters was I took it from the way people were talking when I saw them online. You could tell someone's character. I could envisage their character as they were talking when I was in this forum, and I thought, right, I'm going to take a bit of that and a bit of that and a bit of that, and I got 6 characters out there.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, it was good. It was fun to
write. Did you go back and tell them?
I've told one of the people on the forum. I said, look, I've written this book and I've placed it on your forum. And they was like, that's fantastic. I think a few of them have gone out and bought it and said they enjoyed it. So nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's nice to know that. It's just it must be just like a confidence boost of people buying them, especially like I say when you've been knocked back, you've thrown stuff out there for people to try and get published, and they've kind of gone, no, it's not good enough or whatever. No, we're not doing this, and you kind of must sit there and think, oh, fuck's sake, I'm writing all these books that I find really, really good that people enjoy, but no one's given me the opportunity to kind of like get them out there to be seen. And then
I mean, it does. You think you've written a good book, and you get friends and family who read what you've written, and they go, "Oh, that's good," but they are just friends and family. You don't know whether they're being just nice to you and everything. And the 2 rejection letters, I've got a little bit more since then, but the initial rejection letters I've got. I'd compare it to, when you apply for a job and you get the letter back saying, we've considered your application and unfortunately you've not been successful on this occasion. It's that similar thing.
Yeah, you think, you patronised
no.
Yeah, why are you doing this?
And you do start thinking to yourself, after you've had a few knockbacks, you think, can I actually write good stories? Is it just me? Am I not very good? And then somebody comes in because obviously the Circus and the Apocalyptic were all self-published. Yeah. With Caleb, he got taken on by a publisher, Nightwatch Press, and when they come back to me last year and said, we like this, it was such a confidence boost that it's like, wow, somebody likes my story, and it's not a friend, and it's not a family, and it's not my missus, it's like, wow. And it does put a smile on your face.
Yeah, it's nice to know somebody's giving you the chance to actually get out there and publish your books, because when you relate it to a job, you sit there and you read the bit about the job, and you think, I'd be really good at that if I could get a chance. But you try. But people normally they say, you haven't got the skill. And you think, well, give me a chance to try it out and I probably will pick it up, sort of thing. But and then you've got, you're writing books, trying to get it published. People are going, no, this is not good enough. No, it's not good enough. And like I say, you're being told that it is good enough. And you start to think, well, are these people just saying that to make me feel good? Are they saying it's good? But then I'd like to think also, whether they're friends, family or whatever, I would like to think that they would tell me if it wasn't good enough.
That's right.
Have you had any problems with it?
No, I mean, that's a lot of the people that I've, because obviously with my Facebook and my Twitter account, I've been lucky enough to have loads of people follow and that. Yeah. And I've been able to talk to not only David at Nightwatch, he runs the publishing company, but a few of the authors that he's signed up or he's worked with in the past. Yeah. They've given me some great advice because I'm still new to this. This is all new to me, so I'm learning. And it's nice to pick up bits of advice here and there, and especially when I got the final edits of Caleb back about 2 weeks ago, and David got 2 people to go through the edits and just pick out things that could be changed. And it was nice to hear, and they wasn't bitchy about it or they wasn't condescending. Yeah. It was constructive. It was like, no, you need to change this and you need to put this here and that there. And it's nice. Yeah. That's what I want. It's a learning process. Yeah, it's nice for me to learn that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're there to help you, aren't they? They're not there to be bitchy towards you and be like a complete bastard about it and say, this is shit, right. You don't need that, this is crap. They're just giving you advice saying, look, I'd change this if I was to, so it'll make it 10 times better than if you left it.
Yeah. And these are guys that have been published before, and these are guys that have edited numerous novels and anthologies before. So, I'm going to take on board everything they say because I just want to drain their knowledge, if you know what I mean, and just make it so that in the future I can write better books or better stories.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's not that they're not good now. There's not a problem with them at the moment.
Thank you.
Especially it's so excited for Caleb. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. Have you got like a release date on